What's up guys, I'm J-dubb and today we're going to be testing out the Jackery 1500 Explorer. Now first off, I want to be upfront straight with y'all that I do not have any affiliation with Jackery. I just like their products. I bought a few of them. I bought this one with my own money, and right now on Amazon you can get this unit for 600 bucks. I'll throw a link down below to our affiliate marketing. It does help the channel out. We do get a small commission, but it doesn't cost you a dime. It actually takes a little bit of money out of Amazon's pocket. So you know, if you want to help the little guy out, it does help the channel. It helps us, you know, be able to purchase these things and test them out for y'all guys. But it'll be the first link in the description below. This is our current situation. The fridge doors are open. And we're at 56 watts is what this thing's doing. Doors have been open now for a few minutes. I got it plugged in. We're gonna see if it'll do it. A lot of people said in our 300 video that 300 cannot run a refrigerator. Well, this is the same fridge. We did run it in January. We had a power outage for a few days and it ran that unit or that fridge just fine. Now we did have to charge it every single day to be able to keep up with it, but it wasn't that big of a deal. I have a gas generator. We would just, you know, plug it into the wall somewhere. It would help keep things going. But those little units are really good for like at night when you don't want your big, you know, generator running, keeping everybody awake. So stuff like that. That's why we went ahead and got the door alarm. But that's why we went ahead and got the 1500. So we can do some more things, and we can take it camping. We can do some things up there that I think you guys are going to enjoy. So far, don't look at the fridge, guys. It's a mess, but it's doing good. I haven't heard the compressor kick on yet. I'll let y'all know when it does. All right, if you listen close, you can hear it. It's blowing cold air right now. You can hear our Jackery unit is doing, and there we are, 238. And at this constant output, it'll run at 4.6 hours, so a little bit over 4.5 hours. So that's not terrible, and that's with the compressor running. This is why the Jackery 300 will run a refrigerator, at least a newer style, because they don't use the amount of watts people said. So that's the Jackery Explorer 1500 running a fridge. I knew it would do that because, you know, like I said, the 300 ran it. It ran it for about 5 days back in January, no issues. So we've got the fridge there. Let's go ahead and test out some other things. We've got our coffee pot. We've got a Mr. Coffee latte maker, and we've got a big air fryer. So hopefully we can see which one of these will run. Maybe it'll run all of them. I don't know. I have a feeling this big guy right here is definitely going to use some wattage. And also this coffee pot might too. I don't know. I don't really know how much it uses, but we're going to find out. So as you can see, first off here, we got my wife's Keurig. Now let's say the power goes out and she doesn't have her coffee. Well, if you don't know, most people, they want their coffee first thing in the morning. So we're going to hook this thing up and just see what it'll do. I'm not going to run any coffee. I don't really want anything. I'm going to get a cup real quick, and we're going to, well, I'm not going to throw a thing in there. We're going to get this thing fired up and just see what it'll do. So as you can see, we've got the power cord here. Move these little So I've got the power cord here. I hope you guys can see this. We're going to come up here to the unit. So this is our Jackery Explorer 1500, and it's a really nice little display. It'll show you your power in, your power out. It'll even show down here when you hook something up to it. Let's go ahead and plug in this unit, hook this up. So you can see right now it's telling us that, hey, you've got something connected. So let's go ahead and cut this on. Set a cup here. Now, this is what we're pulling. We're pulling 1141, and at this rate, this thing will run for an hour. It's not bad. You hear the unit cut on. It's a small 8-ounce cup. So the fan is on this. Yeah, it's trying to keep it cool. You can see we're dropping a little bit. The heating element is turned on. And let's see how long it takes. All right, here we go. There we go. It's putting out the water, and we're back down to 6 watts. Oh, 104. The heating element must have came back on. And at this rate, this thing, it says 11 hours, but there it goes. Recalculated it back to an hour. Not bad. You get an hour worth of use of just a coffee pot. It doesn't take you an hour to make your coffee. We went from 93 to 91, so we did use a good little chunk. But that'll at least tell us that, hey, we can use this unit. We can make coffee with it. That's really good to know. Let's see, is there any other practical uses in the house? I've got an air fryer here. I don't know, will it run an air fryer? Let's find out. Here's the cord to the air fryer. Come over here, let's see. Problem with this air fryer is it's got a little bitty short cord. But we are plugged in now. All right, so the unit did power on. Oh, I don't ever use it for anything but that. Let's do 450. See what she'll do. $1,400. Oh yeah, looks like she's gonna run just fine. And we're gonna run at this rate at 0.8 of an hour. So you're not gonna get a lot of cook time with it. But if you need to do like, 20 minutes of, heating something up real quick, this thing will do it. Yeah, 1,400 is about what you're going to be running. Your light or your fan did cut on. Oh, I didn't realize I had a little light there. Isn't that cool? Had this thing for a few days, been playing with it with some different stuff, and yeah, it's like the heating elements are all cutting on. All right, awesome. So we know it runs that. All right, so another practical use I hear people asking about is the microwave. And right here, I've got an old microwave. The Jackery 300 had no chance of running this one. So we've got the unit right here. Try to set it up like this. On our power cord. There we go. So let's see what this is gonna do. Try to get rid of that glare. Woo, that's terrible. All right. We're just gonna do a minute. It's running. And we are at 1,200. So 1,200 watts right there. And as you can see, at this rate, we'll be able to run for about an hour. So not terrible. Guys, these are some really high draw items, so you're not gonna get a lot of run time out of them. But if you just need to heat something up for a minute, there you go. You can do that at least 60 times before the thing's dead. And remember, you can offset this with power. The really nice thing about this is, go ahead and cut that off, is you have two inputs. So you can actually they have a splitter. You can put 200 watt solar panels, so 200 watts into this one. And then you can put two 200 watt solar panels in this one for a total of 400 watts of solar. And I don't have that. I've got 100 watt solar panel, and it would take you all day to charge it with that. But if you're only needing it for a day or two, that's an option. I would probably get a second 100 watt solar panel and probably go ahead and order one. But that'll really help with extending our life. I think when we did it last time, we tried to test it out. It was going to say 16 hours of direct sunlight all day long to charge. Well, I don't know about you. Where I live, we don't always get 16 hours of sunlight. So, with that being said, 2 of them should drop us down to 8 hours of sunlight. That's even better. And what is math on camera? 2 more would drop you down to 4 hours. So even better. If you get 400 watts, supposedly you can charge that thing in 4 hours, give or take the amount of sunlight you're getting. So far, this unit, well worth it. I think if you get the 300, it's like, I think when I got it originally, it was like 300 bucks. So for an extra 300 bucks, I mean, you get a lot bigger unit. That being said, it is massive. It's like 35 pounds or something. But it does power a lot, and it has a lot of advantages. So let's go see what else we can find. All right, so another practical use for this Jackery 1500. Let me show it to you. So we got electric weed eater here, and we're gonna see if it'll run it. As you can see, we've got nothing coming into the unit. Hope you can see that. No input power. We just got it plugged into a 100-foot extension cord. All right, you ready? See what it'll do. Looks like we got 244 watts. So that's a pretty practical use for that little unit. So as you can see that my wood stove isn't here anymore. We're getting ready to line the chimney and I pulled it out. So I can't test that, but let's be real. We knew the 300 will run it, so we know the 1500 will run it. I don't know if you can hear it, our repeater's beaconing out. So I've got this little fridge. I bought it because we're going down to Florida this year, and you know, instead of buying ice all the time, I'm curious to know if here's our 240. Actually, I've never done a video on the 240. It's another good little unit. It's the exact same size as the 300 though. So actually, I'm not even sure why that's here. Has anybody been playing with it? Oh, I bet Sissy was using it for her piano. But so here's our unit. This is just a small refrigerator. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it on. Oops. Oh, cut the DC on. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing here. So you come up and you have to cut your DC on. When you cut it on, yeah. So I've got it loaded up with some goodies. We're just gonna see what it'll do. This little unit is really nice. I might do a video on this thing. So far I've been impressed with it. This is the first time I've hooked it up to, you know, DC power. I normally, it has a AC plug. I've hooked it up to it and it's worked really well. But so we're pulling to cool it down. We're at 30 watts, which means it'll run for 37 hours on this unit. That's really not bad. That is plenty of time for me to get down to Florida. So there's another practical use. That's an extra refrigerator if we needed it for something. But you know, stuff like that, we know it'll run. Now, I don't know of anything else. Let's see what else I can find. I've got another unit, or another thing I want to try, but we got to come in the basement. Now, we know it'll run a laptop. We know it'll run TV, stuff like that. Here's our deep freezer. But this is what I'm wanting to try. Get some light in here. This is our repeater that we built. If you've been following the channel, you know we have a GMRS repeater. This is its new final setup. Let's see if it'll run it. So I'm gonna go ahead and unplug the repeater, plug it into this. All right, looks like the repeater powered back up. No issues there. And we are pulling 20 watts just sitting here. All right. Let's get a radio, make it key up. All right, so we have our tried and true, you know, Wuxen GMRS radio. Let's see if I can get y'all set up to where you can see everything. When I key it up, you should see this little guy right here behind me go orange. This unit, we're at 19 watts. Says it'll run for 56 hours with zero input. So let's try it out. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. WRUJ544, and it looks like we're putting out 182 watts is what this thing is using while it's keyed up. We're still talking, but this is what it seems like it's using on the Jackery. 186, 187. We're still got it keyed up a little bit. So at constant key up, looks like it'll run for 5.5 hours basically. So that's really not bad. You're not going to be keyed up constantly. This thing just kind of sits here and idle most of the time. But if people did need it, let's say there was something going on and someone said, man, we need some electricity. I can easily put the solar panel out the window up here and have this unit sit down here powering this whole setup for me. So that's another thing. It's a good emergency backup if we needed some kind of comms. Is it bulletproof? No. Will it last forever? No. But does any solar powered stuff? Now, I would test this bad boy out. I think it'll run it. The reason I think it'll run it is because it ran that welder, and that's definitely the highest output thing I got. There's no way this thing is using more than 1500 watts. The issue with it is getting to that plug. That plug is a pain to get to, and it's really hard. I got to pull the whole thing out, and right now she is completely full with deer from this year. So sorry, not going to be testing that one out right now. Maybe a part 2, who knows. So before we go, I want to kind of show you the Jackery, get up close view of the whole thing. And you can see we've used, out of testing all these things, we've only used 85%. Guys, if you want a sticker like this, hit me up. Send me an email. Maybe I'll ship one out to you. These things they're really nice. I got a pile of them. But here you go. like again, here's your two inputs, USB-C, and then you have a USB 2.4, a USB quick charge, which is 3.0. That's really convenient for charging like phones, iPads, stuff like that. You have three, 110 watt pure sine wave, guys, pure sine wave. And then one 10 amp, 12 volt, cigarette outlet lighter. But guys, this is a nice little unit. And a little light on it. I mean, it's the little things. If your power's out, at least you've got a big flashlight that'll last for a long time. You can sit there, y'all can play cards and everything, and just have that running. So that's actually really convenient. But that's her. I mean, this is it next to a radio. As you can see, it is a big unit, but that unit will run a lot of things. All right, so I have got a use for you. This is an old Hobart, what is that, 140 welder. So this is a 110 welder. I've built a ton of stuff with this thing over the years, but let's see if it'll run it. I have no idea how much watts this thing is gonna pull, but I'm gonna weld a little bit, let y'all sit over here and watch it. So I've got some other tools here, and actually, before we get too far, let's see if it'll run a porta band. That would be convenient. I get a Milwaukee porta band here. Whoop. Come down here, as soon as we cut it on, that thing should fire up. Maybe. There it goes. Oh yeah. Yep. No problem. Start up a 500. That's nothing at all. So that unit didn't even breathe hard. All right, let's go ahead. Let me get the welder plugged into us. All right, so our welder is plugged in. The fan kicked on. And it says 12 watts is what we're running. All right, there we go. Like I said, let's see what it'll do. Like 900. 2100, that's well over its rated 1500. Oh! Looks like we tripped it finally. So, let's try that one more time. All right, there we go. Y'all ready? $2,000. That's well over the 1,500 limit. Now we're long arcing it a little bit here. Yeah, you might not run a lot of beads with it, but I have got no issues with that. Get it? I just held it in one spot and, made a big puddle. You can see we got some penetration coming through there. We put a lot of weld in one spot. So, hey, that's good to know. If I just got a quick little repair to do, that'll be great. Like I said, the highest I think I saw it was 2100 watts. That is a 1500 watt unit, I think, with an 1800 watt max. So, is it good to run it like that? Probably not, but can you run it like that? Huh, it appears you can. Will you cause damage to your unit? Maybe. Who knows? I'll have to ask Jackery about that, because that is quite impressive. I gotta clean this bench up. This is terrible. But that's awesome to know. I do got one more thing I want to try, and I have a feeling we'll be able to run a circular saw, and I don't have a table saw. But here's another thing that a lot of this bad boy, a vacuum. And I think I've got a plug. Here's my thing. Guys, this garage is an absolute mess. But let's go ahead. Let me get it set up and let's see if this thing will fire. There we go. You can kind of see that. Let's fire this bad boy up and see what it'll do. Oops. Gotta cut this one. Oh yeah. least an hour's worth of use with that. That's awesome. If you don't know why that's great, let's say you're vacuuming out your vehicle and you do not want to get an extension cord. For my house to vacuum out a vehicle, you have to come to this extension or this plug here. You have to go through my yard, or you have to pull everything down here. But we don't wash our vehicles down here. We wash them up in the yard so that the grass, you know, gets the water. You know, all the water that comes off the vehicle, we want the yard to get it. We don't want it just running down, you know, back into the woods. So this is where we wash everything at, but there's really no good way to get an outlet up here except dragging 100-foot extension cord. With this unit though, we'll be able to just take that unit up there with us, take the shop vac, and then there you go. You've got instant power right there to wash stuff with, or to vacuum your cars out. That is really nice. I've got a few other things. I have a feeling it'll run a circular. Oh, here we go. I don't have a circular saw handy, but I do have a miter saw. Once again, here's another use that, you know, may come in handy. Let's see. Let's come up here. All right, let's see what she'll do. There you go. Another practical use. We just took and, you know, a plug-in appliance and made it a battery powered appliance, which means I can now take that saw. Let's say I'm going up in the woods and we're building a tree stand up on the mountain. I don't have power up there. I don't want to take a generator, but I can take that unit and probably cut everything I need to build what I need to for the day. So that is really convenient. So far, guys, I really like the Jackery Explorer. Haven't taken it camping yet, but we have used it around the house in some really odd things and trying it out for different things just to see how it works. All right, guys, so final thoughts on the Jackery. I've got no issues with it. That thing has been absolutely great. Like I said, I have not taken it camping yet. We're going to take it camping. Probably going to take a coffee pot, stuff like that. Get my wife, you know, get her into camping a little bit more. She likes doing it, but she also likes, you know, the finer things in life, like her cup of coffee in the morning. And she doesn't like campfire coffee. We tried that, didn't work. But that little unit has been great. Even my little shed down there, I bet I could power the whole shed with, actually I know I could, because that shed runs off a 300 watt inverter. So I know it'll run that shed. Guys, if there's other things you'd like to see, you know, me do with this unit, go ahead, put them down in the comments below. If you want to see things that you thought, hey, maybe will it run this, will it run that? This is probably the most practical unit, and it's $600 right now. You really can't beat that. I don't know if that's a special or if it's a deal Amazon's running. I'll go ahead, I'll put a link down below to our affiliate marketing. It does help us out. Full, you know, they're not paying me to say this. I don't really get anything for it. If you do buy it, I get a little bit off of that, but hey, if you don't, you know, it is what it is. And I do appreciate you watching. Go ahead, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. And like always, take someone outdoors.